Keith Wilhelm will give us the first speech. Keith Wilhelm, pets. You have to love them. Pets, you have to love them. Keith Wilhelm.
Mr. Contest Master, honored guests and fellow Toastmasters, pets. Over the years, I have had more pets than I can count on all my fingers and all my toes. I'm a farm boy from down East Palestine way. If you don't know where East Palestine is, and you live up here in the big city of Youngstown, Oregon, it's a half hour that way south. I grew up on a big, beautiful, sprawling farm. Lots of cows. We had Holstein cows. Some of them were even pets. We used to ride them. Every night you had to bring them in for milking. Every morning you had to bring them in. Sometimes ones that were a little bit tame that we kind of made into pets. We could ride into the barn. One of my first experiences. We had cats and dogs. One year we had this big husky, probably about 100-pound bulldog. Big fella. I'm sorry, he was a boxer. He used to like to chase the cats. But there's something about cats. When they stop and they turn around and they hiss, I don't care how big a dog you are, you better back off. Well, Duke didn't back off, and pretty soon, whack, that cat let him have it. Duke went running and screaming and had the blood running down his face. Cats and dogs don't always mix. We had turtles. We had frogs as pets. We had rabbits. We used to chase wild rabbits and catch them and then bring them in for pets. They didn't stay very long. They usually got away, but we tried. We had guineas. Guinea is kind of like a small turkey, but they are really loud, and they make good watchdogs. Anytime a car come by or somebody walked down the street, the guineas would go bananas. My dad finally got rid of them. He couldn't stand all the noise. We had chickens and ducks and geese. One geese in particular didn't like my mom. He liked my brother, but I think that's why he didn't like my mom, because he teased the goose. Mom would come out, that goose would see her, and every time make a beeline for her, start flapping its wings and running, and Mom would scream. Finally, the goose would go away. But every time that goose chased her, they're not very good pets either, because if you have a lot of them around, you have to really watch where you walk. You do. They leave these little presents everywhere. We had snakes. How many of you have chased a snake and caught it? All right, oh, some of you. Even a female. Yes. I caught an 8-foot black snake once. And we kept it for a while. But one day, my brother says, oh, I want a picture of that with them around my neck. Well, he had his shirt off, draped with the black snake, and we were just getting ready to take the picture, and this white milky stuff starts running down his chest. Boy, the snake got him on that one. We have the picture to prove that one. Pets are so wonderful. On the 23rd, last Friday, we celebrated our 39th wedding anniversary, my wife Carol and I. And I think if you've ever had a puppy and raised it, you know that when you come home, doesn't matter what's happened before, that puppy is at the door to greet you, and it is going berserk every day. Now, I try to greet my wife like that. I don't shake quite so much, but I try to greet her, and she always greets me every day, in the morning, at night, when we come home from work, whatever. And I think if you pay attention to little puppies and little dogs, and you treat your spouse that way, you can have a long, long marriage. There was one other pet that I want to tell you about real quick. It was a bird, Skeeter, real live parakeet. He was yellow with blue and greenish feathers. He would fly, you hold your finger up like this, and he'd fly over and land on it, and then he'd walk up on your arm, crawl around, hop up on your head, and you hope that he didn't leave you any presents too. Though he did. I had an organ that I used to try to learn to play. And when I was playing the organ, he'd fly over there and he'd jump up and down the keyboard and make the keys sing. Not real well. One day we were having lunch. Carol made some cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. Skeeter come down to see what was for dinner, landed on my shoulder. Next thing I knew, right in the soup. Did he stay there? No, it was hot, so he flew with soup. Tomatoes flying everywhere. What a mess. My wife could have. Well, she didn't. One day, we were about ready to go to bed, and you know, parakeets, you got to put them in their cage and cover them overnight. Well, we couldn't find Skeeter. We looked everywhere for Skeeter. Finally, we'd kind of given up, and I went to get a glass of milk out of the refrigerator, and there was Skeeter in the refrigerator. He was just all stiff and cold, and I thought, you know, that's the end. And Carol was, no, it can't be. We've got to do something. So what? She said, we'll call the vet and see what you can do. So 9 o'clock at night, she's calling the vet. That's all your face. Says, one thing you might try, just takes a little bit of alcohol and rub it on his belly, warm him up real quick. Well, I didn't have any alcohol, but I had some gasoline. That's what I said. I rubbed a little gasoline on his belly, and sure enough, he started flying all around. He was just wonderful. Poor old Skeeter. But then, all of a sudden, he hit the floor. And as some of you have already guessed, Skeeter ran out of gas. Mr. Contest-Master.